Right, camera, ready, action!
The truth is that the machines are coming. I think that means that we have more magic tricks to play with.
AI in advertising is something that is talked about a lot. There's obviously a very clear set of opportunities that it brings.
It's a very important car. It's a beautiful car. It represents the new face of Lexus. It responds to the driver's input almost intuitively.
The ES has all sorts of technology which interacts with the driver to aid the driver.
The intuitive features are based on safety.
If, for example, you are on the highway, the car will recognize the lanes on the road and assist the driver to keep the car in the middle of the lane.
The car would brake for you if you were to not see something on the road. It's a sort of supplement to the driver. That man and machine working in collaboration sort of started the process of thinking about how could we make an advert that mirrored the man and machine element of the car itself.
Wouldn't it be a great wheeze if we actually had an ad written by a computer? But I thought it'll never work in a million years. I mean, what nonsense.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi, I'm Will.
We developed and integrated the artificial intelligence for the Lexus ad.
I'm guessing you just turn the machine on, type, make advert, and boom, out comes the script, right?
If only.
If only. We used a number of tools to extract every single bit of information we could from the last 15 years worth of award-winning adverts. We're looking at what's the relationship between people and the vehicles and the use of the cars, the objects, the actions, the emotions. Every attribute that could be drawn from them was pulled into this data set. Using tools like IBM Watson gave us a great head start.
One of the things that Watson really excels at is understanding emotion and being able to pick insight from that. We've developed a set of algorithms based upon psychology, based upon latest literature within the scientific community of how humans categorise emotions. And we've packaged that up into this block that would understand any sort of text that's fed into that and pick out the key themes of happiness, sadness, anger, or confidence.
When we started the project to create the advert, it wasn't just a completely open brief. It was felt that this would be a car that would be particularly appealing to intuitive individuals.
In order to make an intuitive advert, we wanted to begin to understand what intuition was. And that's why we did the MindX experiment, to explore that in a very scientific way.
MindX's purpose is applying neuroscience and psychology to the world of advertising. What is intuition? It's the use of unconscious emotional information in decision-making.
We did online surveys, and then there's more behavioural testing, where we actually had people come into the lab.
We get an emotional image into someone's brain, and then we can measure how much that unconscious emotion affects simultaneous decision-making. So for some people, they can really utilise that unconscious emotion, can help them make better, faster, and more confident decisions.
We're learning some new insights about intuitive people, their preferences for different visual aesthetics are, what they like in terms of music, voice characteristics, how they like to be communicated with.
They have a particular appreciation for an emotional experience within an advert.
So these results will be fed into the AI, which is going to help design the optimised commercial for intuitive people.
Rather than tell the computer how to do something, we give it some resources and some training, and then we set it loose to make its own discoveries. Once that data dropped into place, that was really the final step of pulling the project together, moving towards the final script.
You're sort of setting off a process that you've not got that much control over it, but I think that's where the best work comes from.
We felt a bit uncomfortable. We follow exactly what the AI has commanded, if I may use that verb.
Were you nervous about what the final script would be?
I think probably quietly terrified. Expression.
I'm sure you're really excited to see what the AI's come up with, and we thought we'd let the machine read its own script.
Act 1. Open with vehicle final inspection area at factory. Minimalist environment with nothing but the car. Under a geometrically pleasing arrangement of bright white inspection lighting.
I think the most important is to say that the story is a story. It's like a movie.
cut to relatively short dynamic driving scene featuring the same car along a winding road on the side of a mountainous area with dark skies indicating a coming storm.
I don't think any of us predicted it. The AI actually wrote an entire script.
That was really impressive. It was a real script and it was very coherent.
The car should initially suggest that it is sentiently bracing for an impact, the equivalent of closing one's eyes prior to a collision. Cut to end frames, as per Lexus guidelines.
I describe it as a dark roller coaster journey of an inanimate object coming to life.
The fact it's written a story about a machine coming to life, I mean, that's... In a way, I want to sort of pat it on the back and go, that's quite funny, that.
And action card.
We were all really surprised when out came a script which not only made sense, but actually had in it this sort of self-reflexive quality. And it's a kind of a twist on, I suppose you would say, the Pinocchio tale.
We're really proud to work with an award-winning director. And it's really cool that he picked up this idea as well and he felt really, in love with it.
I think my job is to try and be as faithful as possible to what the AI wrote. Just a nudge here and there, because you want it to feel like it has a little bit of the oddness of something written by a computer. What I've tried to do is to figure out ways to make it feel like we're seeing quite a lot of this from the car's perspective. It's about this machine which is coming alive. So that enables you to be a bit odd and surreal, I think.
We're getting close to a point where the AI's created work is actually becoming good, which I think is a fascinating idea.
I think we all like to flatter ourselves as human beings that we have a unique way of understanding the world that no machine could ever replicate. And I think that it's going to be very interesting when things that make us laugh and make us cry has actually been created by a computer. And that's going to be fundamentally earth-shattering for the way that human beings see themselves and see their place in the world.
I do think that the best agencies in the world will embrace machine learning and emerging technologies because we need them in order to find new ways of telling great, exciting, inspirational stories.
We're going to get lots of brands and agencies jumping on the bandwagon, but then we're also going to get lots of brands and agencies actually using it in a meaningful and impactful way.
That's what it looks like. I reckon it could have had a face, but they're just too lazy to put a face on it.
Why didn't you give the AI an emoticon face? Are you worried about what the AI will make of the ad in the end?
Yeah, we've got to tell it, haven't we, I suppose? So if it starts moaning about Kevin's direction, I thought I'd find that quite funny.
Don't laugh at me. Take me seriously. It'll say you ruined my work, is probably what it will say, like every writer.
I could just shut it off, to be honest. I could just sort of do that.
See if you're still there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.